Hello, welcome to my channel again. Take a pause before you begin removing everything from your closets and drawers. You may save a great deal of time and frustration by watching this video. Many of us start decluttering with a lot of enthusiasm, but eventually we feel overwhelmed or trapped. Does that sound familiar? This is due to the fact that organizing requires more than just work. Having the appropriate strategy is also important. I'll go over 14 typical blunders in this video that could be making managing your house more difficult rather than easier. Additionally, I'll provide you with a straightforward solution for every error so you can proceed with greater assurance and less annoyance. Be sure to keep watching till the very end. The last piece of advice is the one that has had the biggest impact on how I maintain a peaceful and organized house. Click the subscribe button if this kind of information makes you feel a little more at ease so you don't miss what comes next. Okay, let's get going. When it comes to decluttering, one of the most common mistakes individuals make is to believe that they need a large, ideal block of time to begin. Perhaps you're anticipating a free weekend, a holiday break, or simply a peaceful afternoon when you have nothing to do. However, let's face it, that moment hardly ever arrives. Your kid has a game, a buddy calls, or you're just worn out, so you may tell yourself, I'll finally tackle the whole garage next Saturday. The project continues getting delayed because life gets in the way. In the meantime, the clutter and its mental burden both increase. This is a more effective method. Begin immediately and in little steps. Try focusing on one small area for 10 to 15 minutes each day. As you watch television, organize your sock drawer. While you wait for the oven to preheat, throw away any expired food. I once sat in the school pickup queue and drained the glove box of my car. It felt fantastic and took 5 minutes. Despite their seeming simplicity, small movements like these generate momentum. Above all, they assist you in overcoming a sense of immobility. The second mistake, attempting to tidy up other people's mess before your own, is decluttering. As you glance around, you may think, if only my partner would clean up his side of the room, this house would feel so much better. However, you may be silently accumulating your own belongings while you're preoccupied with his clutter, such as the overflowing toolbox in the garage or the stack of outdated computer cord. Perhaps it's the overstuffed kitchen cabinet you avoid, the drawer of occasional clothing you haven't opened in a year, or the skincare products you no longer use. What is entirely yours is a better place to start. Choose a little area that is entirely yours, such as your side of the closet, your purse, or your nightstand. Take your time going over it. Give up things you no longer need, or even need. It is not required to be flawless. Simply put, it must feel lighter. The problem is this. People around you frequently start to change when they witness you making room for yourself. Your calm demeanor creates space for individuals to recognize their own clutter and want to take action, not because you asked them to. So, don't start with his material if you want to advance. Take yours first. Cleaning is mistake number 3 when it comes to decluttering. You wait for a birthday dinner or your in-laws to arrive just because someone is coming over, and then all of a sudden you're in a frenzy, attempting to make the entire house appear flawless in 2 hours. The issue is that this type of cleaning is typically done quickly and superficially. You may simply relocate clutter from one room to another, stuff into drawers, or conceal items in closets. For a brief moment, everything appears neat, but nothing truly becomes organized. Treating your house with the respect it merits, even when no one else is around, is a superior approach. Try cleaning a little each day rather than saving everything for one large, stressful cleanup. While your coffee is brewing, clean a counter. While on the phone, go through one rack. Compared to a huge cleaning day, these little routines feel easier to maintain and pile up over time. Your house begins to feel calmer all the time, not just when visitors are arriving, when cleaning becomes a regular part of your routine. The fourth mistake in decluttering is to dive right in without any sort of plan or list. You simply begin with the place that irritates you the most. Perhaps your closet or a disorganized drawer, and then hope for the best. Without a well-defined list of tasks, it's simple to become distracted. You might completely forget about the stack of documents on the kitchen table and spend all of your time refolding sweaters. Or you start cleaning one room and end up getting sidetracked, leaving another room mostly clean. Because of this, a simple list can have a significant impact. Make a list of every space you wish to work on before you begin, such as the pantry, the bathroom counter, and the closet in the hallway. Then divide each into manageable chunks. For instance, organize the makeup drawer or remove any expired food from the pantry. It only needs to provide you with a path to follow. It doesn't need to be flawless. You won't have to guess what to do next this way. You observe your progress, you stay on course, and everything seems more manageable. When your brain does not have to remember every step, decluttering becomes easier. Let the list take care of that. The fifth mistake is to ignore minor clutter, because it isn't really significant. Tiny pieces of debris can infiltrate. A few broken pieces of packaging, a few receipts, a pair of pencils, and a pair of socks. We allow them to accumulate because they seem unimportant. However, even minor clutter can have a big impact. It ruins the atmosphere in your room. For months, I ignored a jar of sporadic cables that sat atop my dresser. Although it didn't seem like much, the bedroom immediately appeared calmer once I cleaned around it. The visual noise I missed was that jar. Even though small pieces might not seem essential, when combined, they clog your surfaces, sight lines, and thoughts. Treating minor clutter like serious clutter is crucial. Take care of any loose paper, stray socks, or extra pens as soon as you notice them. Move, file, or toss. One tip is to have a little desktop basket for miscellaneous items. Empty it or mark containers for arriving bits in your workplace at the end of the day. You'll stop the mess from becoming serious issue. Keep in mind that minor neglects can lead to major messes. Before the dots turn into dark stains, fix them. One cunning decluttering error is simply moving items around rather than letting go. From the table to the bedroom and then from the bedroom to the corridor, you shift the pile. For a while, it appears better, but nothing really changes. This is what I used to do all the time. I'd fill a basket with random objects, hide it out of sight, and feel like I'd accomplished something. Later, however, I would discover 5 baskets full of forgotten clutter when I opened a closet. In actuality, clutter persists despite being buried. Changing things about without making choices results in unnoticed chaos and ongoing annoyance. It's difficult to determine what matters most to you, and you can't discover what you need. Try the decision rule instead. There are 3 possible consequences for each thing you touch. Donate, keep, or discard. Have one decide later box if you're not sure, but limit it to 1 per room. Don't try to conceal the mess. Try to lower it. Letting go may be difficult at the time, but so does living with things you don't need. If something is always moving or doesn't have a home, ask yourself, am I avoiding a decision? The 7th mistake is one that seems beneficial, but frequently backfires. Prior to decluttering, storage containers must be purchased. It seems like advancement. You believe that the mess will be resolved when you see attractive baskets that match the bins. However, you're only organizing things you don't really need if you're still hoarding junk. I've been there. After organizing my closet, I discovered that I didn't even need half of the 6 adorable bins I had purchased. 3 containers were found to be empty. Money was wasted. The same mess. This is the superior method. Before organizing what's left, declutter. Don't make duplicates once you're honest about what stays. Have a few things on hand in case you discover anything that really needs a home. You frequently have enough number of containers. Purchasing storage too soon causes people to keep more items simply because there is room for them. Thus, the next time you're tempted to organize, do it. Take a drawer first. Get rid of the extras. Determine what is truly valuable to maintain. Find the best way to store it only after that. Your space should be supported by storage, not obscured by it. When decluttering, the 8th mistake is to find something you don't want, and then immediately put it back where it was. Instead of throwing it away, you keep it in the closet in case your child outgrows it, or it no longer fits or feels like you. This is what I used to do too. My wardrobe eventually felt full, but useless. I now take a different approach. I have a little box by the washing room. Just a basket on a shelf, nothing special. I drop it in whenever I find something that no longer feels correct or fits. When the box is filled, I grab a bag and while out on errands, give the entire batch. No major cleanup or event, just a little routine that keeps things going. It generally remains in your life if it remains in your closet, which leads to greater chaos in both your physical and mental spaces. Letting go is made easier by having a single location for undesired items. Being flawless is not important. It's about creating space for the things that are truly important. Not having a clear plan for where to put your unwanted items is another common decluttering error. You've decided to get rid of broken devices, old toys, books, clothing, and other items. However, you are left with a large pile and not knowing what to do with it. It may seem too much to handle, and that pile could remain there for weeks if you don't do something about it right now. It's not a good idea to throw everything in the trash. It is frequently needless and wasteful. The good news is that there are many easy, practical choices. Thrift shops. Excellent for giving gently used shoes, clothing, small household goods, and more to online marketplaces. Items in good condition can be sold on Mercari or Facebook Marketplace. Recycling of electronics. Return outdated or malfunctioning electronics to Best Buy or an e-waste facility. Donation of clothing. Clothes, blankets, and towels are frequently donated by groups like Goodwill, women's shelters, or neighborhood churches. Shelters for animals. Many are glad to accept soft blankets, flat sheets, or old towels. Donations of books. Donate books to the local community centers, schools, or library. You can quickly look up nearby donation bins or drop-off locations online. It is easier to complete the task and truly eliminate the clutter out of your house if you have this plan in place beforehand. Error number 10. Decluttering involves the idea that you must keep anything that holds sentimental worth. Because they bring back memories of people or times we cherish, we frequently hang on to baby clothes, birthday cards, or mementos out of a worry that losing them may result in forgetting. In actuality, though, the memory resides within you rather than the object. To preserve the emotion, you don't have to save every wedding decoration or every drawing your child created. The memories is not erased by letting go. It creates room for you to truly enjoy the people who are most important to you. Try to keep only a few things that are really special. Take pictures of the remainder, or make a digital album or tiny memory box. A single intentional object on show can have greater significance than an entire package that is kept out of sight. Having too many sentimental things can make you feel heavy. Your home and emotions will feel lighter if you hold on to what is most important and carefully let go of the rest. Ignoring how clutter costs you money, time, and stress, in addition to space, is another error. You may maintain additional clothing you hardly ever wear, duplicate kitchen appliances, and tools you never use because you believe it will be less expensive to keep them than to acquire a new one. However, the expenses mount up over time. Because I was afraid one of the juicers could break, I once kept 3 of them. I lost time cleaning, storage space, and anxiety over which one to use. I never required all 3. You bear the expense of clutter when you carry it. Maintenance of mental strain. Make a choice. Exhaustion. The money spent on maintaining or storing items you don't like, the drawer you avoid, and the shelf you can't open. Consider clutter as a daily debt to change your perspective. Ask yourself, what is this item costing me in energy, space, and time. And discard it if the cost exceeds its worth. The amount of mental and physical space you regain may surprise you. You will eventually come to view things as full-priced burdens rather than as free blessings. And having that clarity enables you to own fewer items that actually make a difference. Ignoring that clutter isn't limited to closets and drawers is mistake number 14. It also exists on your screens. Despite their lack of physical space, your computer, tablet, and phone have a tremendous mental burden. Pictures you never go back to. Unused files, outdated software, disorganized downloads, and inboxes full of unsent emails all build up. At one point, my camera roll included more than 18,000 pictures. Many of them were grainy, duplicates, or screenshots that I couldn't even recall capturing. It was tiring to scroll through and locate anything. Additionally, I felt a little further behind each time I opened my phone. This is a mild solution. Declutter your digital area once a week by setting a timer for 15 to 20 minutes. Remove any programs that you haven't used in months. Empty the downloads folder. Arrange your roll of cameras. Preserve the memories. Give up the noise. Even removing 100 pictures at once has an impact. Although digital clutter is invisible, its impacts are not. A cluttered mind can result from a busy screen. Additionally, your gadgets should promote peace rather than disorder, much like your house. Because both may either exhaust you or provide you serenity. Treat your digital environment with the same consideration that you give your physical one. The 13th mistake is assuming that a system that has worked once will continue to function. However, your home must adapt to the changes in life. Children grow, careers change, you relocate, get divorced, retire, and start over. Nevertheless, we frequently continue to arrange our homes in the same manner in the hopes that it will still work. However, clutter returns if you don't reevaluate. The system isn't working for you anymore, not because you're messy. Now, when I moved into a smaller house, I discovered this the hard way. I didn't reduce my belongings or reevaluate my utilization of space. Drawers were bursting at the seams. There was no room for storage. "I'll deal with it later" became the catch-all phrase for corners. A superior strategy. Every time a significant change occurs in your life, take a fresh look around your house. Perhaps your beloved creative tools from before children are now sitting unused. Ask yourself, what's changed? What still fits and what doesn't? Your teen no longer needs cubbies for tiny shoes, so perhaps the foyer needs new storage. Clutter frequently reappears because your processes didn't adapt to your growing needs, not because you're not trying. Letting go is only one aspect of decluttering. It's about rearranging your environment to reflect the life you lead now. Everything goes more smoothly when your house is in line with your season. Decluttering without a defined purpose is the last and possibly most significant error. It's simple to lose motivation or feel like you're cleaning merely for the sake of cleaning if you don't have a reason. Why do I truly desire a simpler space, you ask? Is your anxiety a result of the clutter? Do you wish your home was more tranquil? More time for hobbies like sewing, reading, or watching your favorite show? Or less conflicts over mess? My rationale was straightforward. No matter how much I cleaned, I was sick of feeling behind. I desired calm mornings, uncluttered counters, and less anxiety before bed. Decluttering becomes more than simply a chore when you have a compelling reason for doing it. Therefore, take a moment to write out your justification and place it in a visible location. It matters more on the difficult days. Therefore, let it lead you through them. I hope you felt a little lighter after seeing this video. Tell me which of these errors you have made as well. I'm sharing because I've made them all. See you at the following one. Please know that you are not alone if you have made any of these mistakes. I wanted to share this with you in the first place since I've made all of them at some point. The goal of decluttering is not perfection. Things is about doing things in a way that genuinely lightens, soothes, and simplifies your life. I would appreciate it if you could comment or let me know which error caught your attention the most. If watching today's video caused you to change your viewpoint, even a little, which will you attempt to shift first? To ensure you don't miss what comes next, hit subscribe if you haven't already, because in the upcoming video we'll discuss small 1-minute routines that help clear up visual clutter without seeming like a thorough cleaning. Please share this video with anyone you know who has been experiencing stress at home. Sometimes all it takes to feel a bit more in control again is a simple change. I really appreciate you being here. In the next one, I'll see you.